in these bodies, yeah, from out of the dust we were made, and out of the dust into the dust shall we return. But the body that the Lord is describing is not corruptible. These are going to be bodies that doesn't decay.
God.
They don't suffer a decomposition. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 53, for this corruptible must put on incorruption,
Yep.
and this mortal must put on immortality.
So that means that not only are we going to shed off of the ways that led us to die in these bodies,
God.
so we're going to be made perfect. Okay? And in these bodies, we're going to be able to live perfectly, meaning we're going to, the way we're susceptible to the pleasures of the flesh of these bodies, we're going to have that problem in those new bodies. So that means that we're going to live forever.
God.
We're going to live eternal.
Yeah. Not that 1,000 years we get a new body.
Yeah.
But we're not going to die.
Yeah.
You know, it says forever. But the Most High is not the author of confusion.
Yeah. It said the earth abideth forever.
Yep.
Ecclesiastes.
God.
So what's the earth? Terrestrial. It'll be extraterrestrial.
That's right.
Verse 54. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the same that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory?
That's right. And where's that quoted from? Who's Apostle Paul quoted? Prophet Isaiah. I believe it's Isaiah the 45th chapter, if I'm not mistaken.
I have it just there.
25. Isaiah 25 and 8.
Isaiah 25?
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
Okay. Showing you that basically the new, if you notice, a lot of the New Testament is quoting the Old Testament.
Right.
The Old Testament prophesied of all these things, man. Mm-hmm. They act like this is something new that Apostle Paul himself came up with. Like he just wrote that into the Bible. No. All these things come from what the prophets of old prophesied, man.
That's what the wicked Pharisees and Sadducees were debating about in the New Testament, the law, the Old Testament.
Because those old prophets that died, they the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
That's right.
So Paul was one of those prophets back then, that prophesied, man.
That's right.
Even though he was a Pharisee at the time, going against the prophets, he began to see the ways of Isaiah.
Hey, Isaiah 25 and 8. Isaiah 25. Yeah. Isaiah 25 and 8.
Isaiah 25 and 8. He will swallow up death in victory, and the Lord Yahweh will wipe away tears from all faces, and rebuke of his people shall he take away from all the earth.
He's not going to have to rebuke us anymore, because why? Because we're going to be perfect. He ain't going to have a reason to correct us, we already going to have it right.
And why is he going to wipe away our tears? Because now we're rejoicing instead of having the sorrow that we had when we were, brought down, man. Part of the curse is that we will have a sorrow of heart. Well, when the Lord changes us and we brought up out of here and the Lord changes our estate, we're going to be in full rejoice mode.
I got to pray for that.
We ain't going to be in sorrow no more. Hey, it tells you in Romans, the 8th chapter. It tells you that in Romans, the 8th chapter, how, we grown in
our spirits make an intercession.
Our spirits make an intercession for us, man, because we grown being in this tabernacle, man. Desiring to be clothed with immortality.
Yeah, because these bodies can't hold the righteousness that our spirit wants to do.
Exactly.
They can't perform those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you ever been laying in the bed, sleeping and shit, and your spirit just cry, man.
Yeah.
You know? That's what
man.
happened to me.
Oh, we all,
all
man.
go
Hell yeah, man.
It's the pre for that. Yeah, kind of.
Revelation 21. Yep.
Revelation 21:4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow.
So no more death. Why? Because the law is going to be written in us. We're going to be made perfect. We're going to be changed.
You'll be immortal.
Mortality shall, the mortal shall put on immortality.
Yep.
All right? We're going to be changed, man. Okay? So that means what? The law is forever. You Christians, y'all got it all wrong, man. And that's why you're going to perish, man. Okay? This is the last book of the New Testament, quoting back to what Prophet Isaiah prophesied of. Okay? That's why the Lord said, no tittle of the law shall fail, man. Okay? These things all have to happen. It ain't happened yet. We still mortal. We still suffer death. We still get urges to go off and sin. We still go through temptation, man. So obviously that has not occurred yet. Or maybe those gutter rats over there claiming to be us, maybe that's already fulfilled in them. If they ain't too busy kosher and pig and having nude beaches in Tel Aviv, Pink City.
Big ass gay parades and stuff.
Yeah, man.
In the Holy Land.
Man, too busy clapping.
I'm sorry, that's anti-Semitic. We can't.
Oh yeah, that's anti-Semitic.
We gotta leave them alone.
Yeah. So show us that in the Torah then.
Hey, wait.
Show us that in the Torah.
Yeah, for all the Jews in Isaiah 50, we can't call you out for doing unrighteous things that you do. It said that. Cry aloud, spare not. And we gonna stop telling you what you did wrong?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
And that's what the sons of the Most High, that's what we grown about. That's what we're earnestly expecting. All right, for death to pass away, all right, to get the victory over death, to no longer have to go through sorrows and pain, okay, to get everlasting rest. You know, we long for righteousness, man, for righteousness to reign on the planet. And that's why we hasten the coming of the day of the Lord, man. Because all this right here, this is why we're sorrowful. But when the Lord comes back and destroys this place, now we rejoice. Because all this is going to be passed away, man. The new heaven and the new earth, the new heavens and the new earth is when New Jerusalem reigns on the earth.
Right.
When Esau's world passes away.
Actually, let me read verse 2 in the same chapter. Revelation chapter 21, and I'm gonna start at the top. And I saw a new heaven and new earth, and for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
Not the actual earth itself, but the conditions or the rulership of the earth is going to pass away. Esau's world, under his rulership, is going to pass away, and then here comes the world of the Israelites, New Jerusalem, wherein dwells righteousness.
Hey, and you know what? And the world of Esau would be when wickedness and iniquity would be at its highest.
Yep.
All right? Meaning what? The higher level of death, the higher rate of death was going to be during the time of Esau's rule. Okay? Because of the amount of wickedness that was going to be increased. Okay? That seed of iniquity and wickedness was going to be at its height, man. And we're living in that time right now. That's why the men of the Lord, we're in constant sorrow, because we got to witness it, man. We got to live amongst it. The scriptures say that we're going to be sighing and crying, man. We're going to be vexed, you know, with the filthy works of the wicked. Okay? So right now, perversion, all right, mortality, okay, all that stuff, you know, incontingency, all that is going to be at an all-rate high, man. All right? But when this happens, all that's going to be cut down, man. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
And there was no more sea, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Yep. And that's talking about Israel.
Yes, talking about Israel.
Because we're married unto the Lord through Yahweh Shai.
Find that bridegroom.
That bridegroom, man. Okay? And we're getting ready for that, for the marriage, man.
That's right.
All right, we're waiting to be joined with our Lord, man. Joined together with him. Okay? Go ahead, Art.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and their power.
Yeah, so that means that the Most High is going to, we're going to be as gods when the Lord basically dwell within our tabernacles, man.
Right.
When it says and the Most High shall dwell with men, that's talking about the Lord ultimately is going to make us his sons, meaning we're going to be gods, man.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be deities over these other nations, man. That's when these other nations are going to bow to us. They're going to acknowledge like, oh, dude, these are the people, man. Surely there is a God within me. You know? They're going to put down the Buddhas and the Allahs and, you know, all the vanity, and they're going to come to the acknowledgement of the Yahweh Shai being, you know, that God.
The power.
All right? They're all going to confess that he is, man, that he's the son of the Most High, he's the Messiah, to the glory of the Most High, Yahweh, man. Every knee is going to bow when they see him, man. Okay? And that's what we're waiting on, man. And when we get joined with him, when we get changed, hey, that's when, you know, the Lord's going to join, he's going to join us together. All right? Then he could say, you know, those are my sons, and we shall say that is our father, man.
Right.
Okay? Go ahead.
Well, that was it. That was it? Yeah.
All right.
I had a pre. It's Hosea 1:10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
Hey, we can't be the sand of the sea without the confusion of faces. Okay? But, I mean, that don't make them of the elect, okay?
Which cannot be measured nor numbered, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel.
Because if you think about it, the last time we had one head was when? Who was the last one head that we had? The South. We ain't had one king over our whole nation since then. Okay, but Yahweh Shai is going to be that one king. That's the one king that we're going to appoint over
Which
the
means
northern kingdom and the southern.
he was always the head, because that was
right.
him.
Yeah, right.
He was always our head, you know? Yeah, man. If somebody can, I asked
I
for...
still had that second answer.
Yeah, that's what I asked for. Somebody can get that. Start around 41.
7 and 41, right?
Yeah.
The second Ezra chapter 7, verse 41. Even now, seeing corruption is grown up.
Even now, and especially us being at the end of Esau's world, it's like your corruption is at its height, man.
Right.
Okay? It's even, our children are even being corrupted. You know? You gotta worry about your child learning after the ways of the manner of this damn devil, man. Okay? That's why you got children that are dressing in drag and dancing in strip clubs in front of grown men. Little boys, man.
How many wrongs is that?
Come on,
Why
man.
ain't that all blasted on fucking CNN and Fox News?
Yeah, you got sites called queer kids stuff.
Yeah.
Nambla, you got all type of shit, man. Wicked inventions of the devil, man. Okay, so corruption is at an all-time high, man. And when you read, was that 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter, it talks about how that seed that was sown going back to the time of Adam, it had time to basically spring up since that time. How much more now?
Where's that script that says,
Second Ezra 4 and 30?
About the one where it says, it shall be increased as thou hast seen.
That's 2nd Ezra 5.
That's what you get.
Matter of fact, let's jump. Get 2nd Ezra 4 and 30. and then jump to 2nd Ezra 5 at the top, and then go to 2nd Ezra 7.
2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 30. For the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning.
So from the beginning, that's when the sons of God, going back to Genesis the 6th chapter, that was when we started to corrupt. All right? We started facing corruption at that time, and that's when the Lord brought us from living immortal to now you're going to live 120 years.
Son.
And then now, by the strength by your strength, you might live as long as 80 years old. Man. But we finna go back to being sons of God again, where we're gonna live forever.
Okay.
But right now, because we're in corruption, that's why we're still dealing with death. All right? Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead, bro.
Man, that's wild, bro. We got, the Spirit of the Lord, gave us the answers to know why do we die.
Right.
Exactly.
That's beautiful knowledge, man.
And with that comes the ability to not die.
Overcome death, like it says in Corinthians the 15th chapter, 1 Corinthians 15th chapter.
Now you got these people in the world, every time something evil or bad happens to somebody, they always want to cry and be like, why,
Why?
Well, first of all, you sin. You understand why you died, and you wouldn't have that question.
And you know what they don't do? They don't give the Most High, still don't give the Most High the credit. God didn't do that.
He was a good person.
He did do that. He did kill that wicked nigga.
Yeah. A homosexual slowly dying on his deathbed from syphilis or whatever. You trying to huddle around his bed and send up prayers for him. Why are you praying for that demon? The Lord is plaguing him and killing him, man. If he didn't live that lifestyle, then maybe the Lord would have had mercy and grant him longer years, man.
Hey, from the most high alone belong the wages of death.
That's it.
So anybody that
Issues
dies,
from death.
the issues from death. That's how you know.
Yep.
All right, back in 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and 30. For the grain of the evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness hath it brought up unto this time? And how much shall it be?
And we at the end of it. It's so thick that seed has sprung up, and it grew it expanded so far out throughout the generations.
Like a
Because each empire that reigned on the earth, it became more and more wicked.
And when the Greeks came, it increased like,
they
they put fertilizer on that tree.
That tree's like one of them California redwoods now, man. Tall as a damn skyscraper.
Yeah, man.
Okay. And how much? I read that. And how much shall it be? Shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come?
Basically, until the time the Lord comes back with that sickle.
Kind, bro, kind.
And put it in work, man.
Harvest.
Yeah. The harvest. Because the
That's what
harvest
the sickle's used for. When the harvest comes, you use that sickle to get all the
the crop.
So the Lord got to come back and tear down the wickedness, man.
Hey, what did it say?
Was that Joel, the 2nd chapter? How the fats overflow.
Oh, kind.
The wickedness is great.
Yeah.
That's what that's going into. Because we're at the height and pinnacle of iniquity, man. That's why the heart of men is waxing cold in these last days. That's why, because iniquity shall abound, that the heart of men,
the love of men,
the love of men shall wax cold. People don't even have a conscience anymore.
Bro.
People just do all type of wickedness and they just black out, man, and don't even care. We're in the stages in a generation where children are raising up and killing their own parents and grandparents.
Bro.
You take away their PlayStation or whatever, that kid about to get a demon on him and air out the whole entire household.
Kill his parents.
You got mothers that's putting their own daughters to death.
Yep.
Daughters raising up killing their mothers. Crazy, man.
That Jake do that shit, man.
That's Jake. That's straight up Jake, man.
Yeah, it would have been a time in the past that you can say, oh yeah, that's an Edomite that did that shit, killing parents.
Right.
But now these niggas, man.
These niggas see Esau do it, and they want to go kill their damn parents and shit too.
Yeah. He's not done, right? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 6. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Man, I mean, you got transgenders, and
this is the worst case scenario of what wickedness can breed upon the earth. It is fully, like, it's not like, oh, this may happen one day. What the Greeks were doing is in full effect of what's going on today.
Right.
You know, of what the Babylonians was doing is in full effect of what's, like, it's a full manifestation of what they was doing from that time. What's happening today. Sodom and Gomorrah, Egypt. On and on and on. Even the Tower of Babel, all of it. Every wicked thing that went on in history is that full manifestation in this time period now.
Exactly. You got women that this is how sick the society is, man. You'll have a woman turn into a man to deal with another man. So she could be a man but still have children.
Yeah, bro.
And so two fathers, which is really a transgendered man with another man raising a child. Confusion, man. Gender neutrality.
And then they're gonna teach that kid that they don't have gender.
Right.
To not have a gender.
That's the hurtful works that are being fulfilled, man.
Right.
Okay? That's the increase, the iniquity that's abounding, man. Okay? Let's do away with genders. Let's not acknowledge the original order that the Lord set in the earth for a man and a woman to exist. Let's turn that away. Let's deviate from nature.
You can't say he. You can't say he or she. Or any kind of pronoun.
Sir, you can't say mother or father.
Right,
you can just say parent.
Say their name and shit.
You can't put a gender on identity on anybody.
Bro, this girl at the school gonna say she don't want to be called a girl or she. She want to be identified as they.
So you're more. So you're just.
You're plural.
So you're just more than one person.
Bro.
So basically, you're just a demon. You got legion. You a legion.
Legion of demons to be acknowledged.
Right. But this is what Esau gave. This is what he gave liberty to. He gave power to that. With Eve being the conspirator with, man. This is the works of Eve and the serpent going back in the garden. That collaboration is what brought forth the shit that we witnessing to this very day, man. And that's why we see our women at the forefront of this wickedness, man.
And you people don't really know like how Esau put out these type of things in the earth, man. He prays to Satan on the left hand side. Then he puts the curses and seances, in his media, and he puts all the different signs and stuff like that, so people can watch it on the TV, and they get
predictive program.
No, they
hypnotized,
trance, That's all it is, man.
Yep. Witchcraft.
It's witchcraft, exactly.
Another cookie. 2nd Ezra 9 and 5. For like as all that is made in the world had a beginning when it was just a little bit of wickedness, right? And an end, and the end is manifest. Now we've seen that small root of evil, good and evil from then. Now it's in full blossom by the ending times of how bad things could possibly, the full manifestation of how bad things can be is what's taking place right now.
And that happened, it happened prior, but what happened? The Most High destroyed the world with the flood and saved 8 souls. And the wickedness during those times of Moses, now, from now, it's, man.
Let me say this, this isn't the height. Society has to collapse first. When there's lawlessness in the streets, when there's lawlessness, that's when it's going to be the full heightened manifestation of all wickedness in the earth.
people really get that cold spirit,
You're gonna
man.
get that sedition, that cold ass spirit, which is evil.
That wicked, perverse spirit.
And it said, what it said, brother shall rise against brother. What it said, second Edges, I think the 15th chapter.
Neighbors shall fight. They shall fight against each other like enemies, basically.
Right. You know, we're cool now.
Right.
You know, in the way we're supposed to be looking after our brothers. And that's what that brother was talking about when he was saying about the brotherhood. Because things is gonna get tight, man.
Yeah.
When everybody's hungry and nobody got enough food to eat, are you gonna covet in that moment to get yourself a little more so you're comfortable and make the next brother or the brother's kids or whoever a little less comfortable? Or are you gonna do the brotherly thing? Make sure everybody gets something.
Can you talking about sedition?
Yeah, a sedition, right?
Yeah, the wax, the hearts of many
shall wax
cold. That's for the rest of the people.
Right.
That's not pertaining to the brotherhood.
Right.
Man.
But that's what the brother was talking about to remind us not to have that worldly.
You don't have that spirit, man.
Right. We can't have that.
Ain't no love in the world, man.
Right.
These people are cold as hell. Everybody's about they self.
Hey, Con, like it's
selfish, man.
It's an old song by I think it's Bobby Blue Bland, and it's called like "Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City." Yeah, that's like it is. That's how it is, man.
Yeah, there's no loyalty, there's no trust, no nothing, man.
Yeah, the Gadites, they used to say one of the ways that you can tell that you're rich is to give to your brother, man.
How much you have to give.
Yeah.
And they call them Indian givers.
No, that term really, they put that on them, but what it was is they were the Indian givers.
Yeah.
When you say you was gonna Indian give, that means you was gonna give it to them and take it back from them. You know, you wasn't gonna keep that covenant or that agreement. You're gonna do it and it's okay, they're Indian, you can just take it back, no big deal. That's really where the term came from. It had nothing to do with the way that the Indians were acting, so to speak.
What was you? 40 and 34, 2nd Ezra 4 and 31.
Go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 31. Ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed have brought forth.
Yep.
And when the ears shall cut down, and the ears shall be cut down with all or without number, how great a floor shall they fill?
Yeah, they're gonna feel the flow, man. That's why the Lord said, you know, the fruit is ripe for the picking right now, man. You know, it's overflowing right now. Okay, and that goes into when the Lord comes back with the angels. You know, they're gonna you know, the angels are gonna do the reaping. You're gonna separate the wheats from the tares, the tares, the sheep from the goats.
Bro.
And the first fruits, which are the righteous fruits, they're going to be gathered into the barn and saved. They're going to enter the kingdom. But the rest, you're going to get burnt up. You're going to get burnt up, man. And that's when he's going to do it. That's when all that wickedness is going to be sacrificed, man. That's what's going to atone. That's what's going to appease the Most High, man. Because the Lord is appeased with sacrifice, man. Okay? So the Lord's going to come back and he's going to shed a lot of blood. That's why it talks about how the blood is going to rise to the horse's bridle. Okay?
So,
go to 5 now?
Yeah, go to 2nd Ezra 5 and 1 and then go to 2nd Ezra 7.
2nd Ezra chapter 5 verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold the tokens is talking about the signs. Go ahead. Behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden. And in the land shall be barren of faith, but iniquity shall increase above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago.
Yeah, and we're at that time, man. You know, iniquity is abounding, it's increasing. But hey,
the right thing in society, now is iniquity.
Yeah.
But you can't just do one little thing and then be cool. Nah, you gotta turn up and keep it going. You gotta keep it going. Fuck it, you done stole this money, now you gotta splurge on this money. You done splurged on this money, you gotta do something wicked with this money. You just gotta keep increasing in the wrong way.
Yep. Hey, and it says the truth shall be hidden. The truth is really hidden amongst the Lord's men. Because in this society, it's more easier for you to find a way of lies.
Con.
Like the Lord said, enter in at the straight gate, for wide is the way and wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and there be many that go in thereat.
Yep.
So it's more easier to find a lie than to actually get the truth.
Con.
So the Lord got the truth pretty much hidden amongst his disciples, his elect, man. Okay? And that's why the Lord made this understanding difficult for the world to understand. So therefore, because they're locked out of this, they're not going to follow the ways of the scriptures and knowledge, man. So they're going to be more prone to follow after evil. Okay, so that's the reason why iniquity is abounding, man. If you can, brother, hold this over the brother in the camera.
In that world, it's cosmos, man. You know, Israelites.
That's right, man.
The majority of Israel don't have this truth, man. Nor they never gonna get it.
Con.
All right, till they be destroyed, man.
My
Till they
name is
come back
Abdel
to the
Shahid
kingdom.
Ali Muslims. And it's a lot of y'all brothers that be in New York. Y'all are, if I'm not mistaken, just let me get it right, Black Israelites?
Hebrew
Israelites.
Hebrew Israelites.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you ever look at the picture of Dr. King when he gave his speech in 1963 on the Capitol, remember the brothers that was in the hats that was standing behind him? It was 4 brothers that had on, like, they looked like Kufis, but they wasn't. Those were Black Israelites. They were Hebrewites. Look it up, brother, if you think I'm lying.
Oh, yeah.
See, I agree with some of what y'all say, but I don't agree with everything.
But don't you?
Huh? For example, the first 5 books of the Bible is to Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and Numbers. Some of that shit is watered down by man. I'm gonna tell you why. I don't believe in none of the Old Testament. I don't believe in none of the, not the Old Testament, the New Testament. I don't even mess with that. Come on.
No, I'm saying, let us give up. We heard what you had to say, so we want to have a dialogue here, so let us give us the opportunity to answer your question.
Put it on tape, brother.
So the question was, you don't believe, I didn't hear the question.
He said he believes that the first 5 books of the Bible are watered down by man.
No.
That's why I want to make sure we got what
Correction.
Okay.
I said the first 5 books is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and Numbers. I said I don't believe in none of the New Testament because I know that's watered down.
New Testament.
The New Testament.
Okay.
Now, there are some issues in the Old Testament, which is the Torah, the Jews follow as well. It's the Torah, that's what it is. But there are some questions there that I kind of disagree with.
Okay, that's what we're trying to find out. What it is.
You understand? And one of the questions that I disagree with, when you go back to Abraham and you go to Hagar and Sarah. Listen to what I'm saying, brother. Listen to what I'm saying.
No, we listen.
I'm going to take you to something very fundamental. Abraham, so they say, he married his first sister. They had the same father but different mothers, correct?
Abraham?
Absolutely. Abraham married Sarah. Sarah was his sister.
No.
It was his half sister, brother.
Okay.
They had the same father, different mothers. Because it's the time period. Brother, I know that I'm 57 years old.
That don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
I spent 50, I ain't gonna talk, I ain't gonna get it, that don't mean nothing.
Right.
Now, Hagar was supposed to be the living maid. She was of Philistine, which is Muslim, Islam. That was his mistress, right?
No,
Islam wasn't
let me
back
correct you.
What?
Hagar was Sarah's handmaid.
But still the same,
Right.
but still it's just,
She wasn't Muslim, but okay.
but yes, she was
No,
Muslim.
she wasn't.
All right, fine.
When did Islam come about? What year?
One moment, I'm gonna get to that. I don't even follow Islam that much no more, brother. I'm Pan-African.
I mean,
But I'm gonna get to that.
what does Pan-African mean?
Jay get into
I'm
all type
what
of
Pan-African means.
Yeah.
It's a unified Africa.
Where does that word Africa come from?
From a cracker.
That's who
Come
you.
on.
That's who you.
No, I know that ain't what. Brother, listen, I stopped to talk to y'all because I never talked to y'all. But let me finish my argument.
Okay, then we'll answer all your
Oh,
questions.
that's what I'm saying, brother. I see y'all all over the country, brother. And you know what? I'm not against you. I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
We're ready to pick up arms, man, and change. We gotta restart the world. This is where I'm coming from.
Okay.
You got a carnal mind, man.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to do that.
No, we gotta restart the world,
We
bro.
gotta let the Lord do that.
Well, all right, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I'm not. Now, Hagar, who was impregnated by Abraham, Ishmael, is his firstborn. However, he never married Hagar, but he married his sister. So the Jews believe, not you, but the crackers, they believe that Ishmael don't have any birthrights.
Right.
Because he was a bastard child.
That's not why, but we believe that too.
He was 16 years old when Isaac was born. He was just about a man. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
See, but the point being is to see I see you brothers in Newark, New Jersey. I'm from Harlem. I see y'all in Harlem. I see y'all all over the country. I almost got in a beef with a brother one day out here, right? I was talking to a sister. I'm gonna keep it real with you. And he said, now he didn't know who was with me. Like right now, y'all don't know who with me. You don't know who watching me.
Well, we ain't trying to fight you.
I know, because you my brother. And I ain't trying to fight you.
We're not carnal men up here, man.
No, brother, we trying to get an understanding. We trying to come together.
Exactly. That's cool.
But I'm gonna tell you what happened. The brother threatened. He said, "Brother, you know, I'm black Israelite." I said, "So?" I said, "Well, I'm Pan-African. I used to be Muslim. I used to be under all of that. That's when I was in the penitentiary. I got that out in the penitentiary. When I came in the street, I got the truth.
So what was different between the Pan-African and the...
Because I'm gonna tell you why, brother. The reason what attracted me to Pan-African, when they killed Gaddafi, see, Gaddafi wanted to change the currency on Europe and America. He told England he didn't want their pounds. He told America, I don't want your dollars. If you want oil, I want your gold. And the people turned on him. That brother wanted to bring that continent of Africa. He said it was for the black man. He wanted to get rid of the Chinese. The Chinese over there putting infrastructure in Nigeria, and they ain't even giving them the blueprint.
They laying seed in them African.
That way they'll never have to leave, because they want the resources of the land. Gaddafi was saying, we got to come together. A unified Africa, from South Africa to Algeria. This is our home.
Let me ask you a question real quick. What's your nationality?
My nationality, I'm Afro-Cuban.
Afro-Cuban. Okay, do you
My
know
father's,
that
look,
that you're not
my
African?
father's black as this jacket, and my
I
mother's
don't
light
think
as
he's that
me.
black, but he probably close. But he probably the
My
closest
father's
brown
blue
to that.
black.
He probably the darkest brown.
No, my father's blue black.
Okay, I've seen that color before. I got family members.
And my mother's light skin.
Okay.
I got grandmama, I got people in my family, they look like they white, but they black. And it's because of slavery. I know my history, brother.
Okay, but what I'm trying to tell you, the further history on that is that you're not African. You're not African. Just because you live there don't make you
Exodus
African.
11 and 7.
That's what all,
Just 'cause you live there don't
that's
make
what
you
all, what am I?
You're a Hebrew Israelite.
And you say that we
From the tribe of Manasseh.
wait a minute. Let me say this. Hold up.
Can I say something? Okay.
No, brother. Let me answer.
You talked about Abraham.
I heard
Hold
all
on, wait. You talked about Abraham, right?
Fine.
And Abraham and Ishmael.
Right.
So
Come on, Exodus.
didn't Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, do they know the lineage of their fathers?
Yes, they did.
Because you said Ishmael was what, Muslim?
Ishmael is Muslim, brother.
Okay, so
His mother, see, during that
so
time,
Ishmael's a seed line.
Right.
Got his own doctrine.
Hagar was a Philistine. At that time, they didn't call it Palestine.
Where do you get your seed line from? That's what we're talking
His seed line
Where's
come
your
from
seed
his
line?
mom. Actually, your seed. No. Your seed line come from your dad.
Okay.
And Abraham was Muslim.
No.
Ibrahim.
No.
Islam didn't exist in Abraham's time.
Tells you the
Hey, bro, scoot over a little
Brother, let me say something.
Islam is just a religious
Now, I'ma
construct
blow y'all mind.
that
Go ahead.
borrowed from the customs of Abraham.
Islam follows the customs of the Catholic Church. Catholicism.
That's very
Where do you
true.
think?
That's very
Where do you
true.
think? That's why I got out of it. The thicker beads, the way they dress. They emulate Catholicism. I know what I'm talking about.
Set up by Catholicism.
I accepted Islam when I was in Lewisburg Federal Penitentiary. You know where that's at? I was in ATL and I was in Lompoc here in California. That's how I ended up out here.
Okay.
You understand? But let me say something to you. I got out of that shit 'cause through study, Islam. Do you know the first people to snatch black people from the shores of Africa, who they were?
Arabs.
They used to castrate us.
I know.
They called them eunuchs.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
That's why I hated them
And they
motherfuckers.
enslaved us with that religion.
That's right.
Just like the white
Why
man
would you
enslaved our
want the
people with
slave
Christianity.
man's religion?
And that's
So
why
is the Africans.
Right. But what I'm saying, brother, no, you
That's why we
Right.
no, we didn't miss the point.
Hey,
Brother,
Bubba,
so what you-
Africans,
so what-
Africans,
brother, listen to me. So what you telling me is that our home is Israel? That's what you telling me? So what you
Our
saying?
people fled Israel. in
But you got
70
black
AD.
people in Israel, they dogging them.
Africa is a continent. Every so-called black person in Africa are not the same lineage.
I know that. You got brown people all over the world.
But Gaddafi, he
He
wasn't no Israelite.
Yeah, he wasn't one of us.
He wasn't one of us.
Gaddafi would tell you in a minute, I'm a black African.
That's
He
fine.
was
He
light
can say
skinned.
that. He can say
But
that.
Gaddafi was for us.
No,
He wasn't for us.
What?
He wasn't for us. He wasn't for us.
And I'm going
He
He
was for
gave
them.
free oil to Hugo Chavez. You know who is Hugo Chavez?
Jake.
He's a Jake.
Do you know who Hugo Chavez is?
Yes.
Hugo Chavez in Venezuela,
Venezuela, yeah.
Gaddafi, they gave oil to poor people. And the people that didn't have jobs, he gave them allowances every month. He gave them $3,000. And guess what? Cause them crackers, I hate a backstabbing nigga. Cause Obama ain't shit.
We
He
agree.
sent them
We
crackers
agree.
over
He's
there.
an African.
He sent them motherfuckers over there to overthrow that man.
The Hamite
Guess what?
did that.
He told the people that don't work, he said, I will pay your bills, your rent, and I will give you $3,000 a month. They didn't have to pay shit.
That's universal income, man.
Cause, no, that was from the oil that the country, you know, that they
That's what
benefited
it-
from.
okay,
Right.
yeah.
Gaddafi was a good man, brother.
We didn't say he
We
wasn't.
didn't say he wasn't, but
We
he's
just said he wasn't one of us.
Ain't
All right,
none
but see,
good.
man,
Ain't none good but the
Let me
Father.
say,
Con.
you gotta,
Let's get out of scripture.
Let's
Yeah,
get
yeah.
this
let me get this
scripture.
definition of Ham.
Brother grab Exodus.
Because Hamites are the real Africans. All right?
Let it read it.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably 96 years.
You remember the earth got reset with four men, but three men in particular became the progenitors of every
I
race
remember
of
the story.
Ham, Shem, and
I
Japheth.
don't know it. I just remember the story.
Right. That's what I'm make sure.
Okay, the youngest son of Noah, born probably 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark race, not the Negroes,
Not the Negroes.
but
Made a point to say that.
but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
All of them is in Africa.
In the reference Genesis.
But everybody said that the Negroes came out of Africa, but it clearly said not the Negroes. Because when you trace back where the Negroes were before they were in Africa, where were they then?
So-called people.
So-called.
So-called.
Do you
Where
know
were
you
they
got
before?
over
I just asked you a question.
50 billion
I just
black
asked you a
people in
question.
Africa?
I just asked you a question, bro.
We ain't gonna fit no
The
50 billion
same
people in
ones that got on
Israel.
the slave ship, where were they before they lived in Africa? And why did they go down into Africa? I got 2 questions.
Now I'm a shit.
Can you
I don't know. I don't know that answer.
Okay.
Let us answer
But I'm
that.
gonna say this.
Can we answer that question?
I said I don't know that
I said
answer.
we're gonna
We're going to
answer.
answer it to edify,
Good,
for edification for the
good,
camera.
good.
The people prior to the so-called Africans, you call Africans, the blacks, prior to living in Western Africa, they fled from Roman persecution from Titus and Vespasian, the
heard
Flavian dynasty, out of the land of Israel. They fled to parts of Europe,
Okay.
parts of Western Africa, and parts of Asia. And
Elijah Muhammad taught that. Yes, he did.
learned that from Israel.
Yeah, he learned all.
Elijah Muhammad taught from the Bible.
Elijah,
Yeah.
The Quran referenced the Bible.
What's the second largest black nation in the world?
There's no,
Black people you keep talking about.
you gotta understand, my man.
Go
There's no
about
such
sea
thing.
lions.
There's no such thing as black people. Black.
When I say people of color, what's the second largest black people of color continent in the world? Do y'all know? It's Brazil, other than Africa. But let me say this,
but
brother.
you know, Brazil was where they.
They jumped off the boat because they thought they were going home.
No, they jumped. They were the first slaves were brought to Brazil.
Look.
On the transatlantic.
Look, there's right there.
That was on the transatlantic slave. The first
slaves that wasn't
They were brought-
1600s.
the
The first slaves was England and
Yeah, but they were
and
brought.
Portuguese.
It shows they were
Exactly.
right down
West
West Africa.
Okay, brother.
They
And
were
then
brought to Africa.
Hey, brother, you know what? I would like to have some of that, brother.
You take a picture of it.
I want to get some of that, but I want to You know what, brother? It's an event coming up in North New Jersey. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Do y'all know how strong y'all is on the East Coast?
It started in the East
From all
Coast.
over the world.
Just started.
No, it started in the East Coast.
Brother, they be marching down the street for 30 blocks and be every bit about a good 20,000 of them. And they be chanting.
But they're different Israelite groups.
No, they with y'all.
No, they not. They not.
What does all that do? How is that different than what Dr. King did? Because what he did didn't do nothing.
But
Dr. King didn't do
Dr.
nothing.
I'm gonna give you the history of Dr. King.
I don't need the history on
Dr. King was a
Michael
bad
King?
man.
On Michael King?
Michael King.
yeah, Michael King.
You don't give me the history of Michael King?
I'll give you the history of whoever, Dr. Luther, whoever.
His name is Michael
Michael.
King.
Okay, fine. That's what I'm calling.
So I don't need his history. I know his history is my point.
The point of the matter
I'm
is
trying
he
to
was a
make.
sellout.
That's why I
Yeah,
know
you
his
know
name is Michael King.
Dr. King
Bible
was
even
killed
prophesied
because
against
they
it.
told
Kind.
Dr. King you could talk about politics, you could talk about education, socialism, but do not discuss economics. When he started talking about that, we going back to get our check. That's when they killed him.
The brother question was for you is what is all the things that you're saying marching? What is that gonna do? Haven't
Don't
we
do
all
shit.
exactly?
We gotta pick up arms.
No, that's not gonna do nothing for you
Hey,
either.
let me ask you something. Do you know that this white man has a microwave gun?
Of course.
You know what that'll do to he has a gun that he
He'll
can shoot
wipe
you,
us out.
and you can run from it because you can feel it.
Drones.
Drones with his nose.
You-
This man got this. This man got these.
I believe that,
They
man.
dropped that on Black Wall Street.
I believe that.
But
I'm
so what
saying-
is the little
What I'm-
AKs and whatever
Fuck
we
AK.
can pick up?
We can get
What
our
can we
hands
get?
on that.
We gonna get tanks? We get our hands on that? Come on, bro. That ain't gonna do nothing. That ain't gonna do nothing.
Your fight ain't big enough, man.
Where you gonna get a nuclear bomb?
But see, you ain't gonna find enough Negroes to understand where y'all coming
We
from.
only
Well, we
need
always
a few people.
God, the water.
I want a picture of that, and I want a picture of
We only
that.
need 144,000 all over the world.
Kind, bro.
We don't need them just in Vegas. We need them all over the world.
Exactly, we need them everywhere.
Because this is gonna destroy America, 100%.
That's right.
It's going to destroy the planet.
No,
Planet. That's America.
This is Psalms 44 in verse 5. It says, through thee we will push down our enemies. Through thy name we will tread them under that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me.
The modern day sword and bow is the gun, the killing instrument. So we ain't gonna trust in stuff like that. We're gonna trust in the Heavenly Father, what He got set up. Because look, every other, the Black Panthers and every other group that it rose up to
They
fight
killed
this man carnally,
Let me tell you something. If
They-
black
they-
church,
you gonna lose.
brother, if black churches really empower black people, it'll be shut down by the FBI.
It's set up by the FBI.
I know that
Set
because it's
down.
controlled.
So what's the
There's nothing new under the sun. The whole let's get together and mount up with guns and fight against the government, whatever. Man, the Zealots was about that life.
Kind.
We